Howdy, how are you doing? I've got another model. This one, it's got a big gun. It's just arrived from Temu. I don't know if you know of Temu. It's a sort of discount sort of version of Amazon, really. But they sell tons of these models. Some of them are like the same thing as you would get on E2FR6, but for either fully made or mostly made, and a damn sight cheaper than the originals, and you don't have to put them all together completely. That said, this one is mostly done, as you can see. I've got to finish her off, but it gave me an idea. It was suggested the other week that I maybe show you the models in here, because there's a fair few. So today I'm just going to finish putting this together, and then we shall show you around here and explain what's going on and who they are and what they are and so forth. Let's finish this off first though. This has had to be pushed through between her legs. It's very stiff, but it's got some movement to it. But there's a clip there, seemingly the buttons of her dress. This has got to be the fiddliest. There's random bits of fabric, and it's all one piece. It's all moulded together. As this is one of the problems with the Temu models, they come with no instructions whatsoever. I'm going to put a little bit of glue and trying to hold that into place. And we push. Don't think that's what it's meant to do. I think it probably needs to be slightly heated, not set fire with the blowtorch, but just But yes, if you want to expand on your models collection, then I would recommend Temu. Some of them are very odd, but we'll come to that in a minute. So yes, let's go have a look. So, where to start? Well, let's start there, over there. This is where it all began. This is Celine or Selena. I saw in the old Forbidden Planet, it's going back a while, if you knew that, in New Oxford Street. There's a games and anime and comics and so forth store in London, and they're now a much bigger concern. But they used to be a little tiny shop. And I saw this in their models cabinet, and she was, like a eagle sort of thing. It was pretty, but I thought I could do a different thing. Then I tried to buy it, and it was lots of money. I went on a search, trying to find any version I could find, and I found one in Comic Miniatures in Lavender Hill. I don't think that exists anymore either. And I went there one Friday night, just as they were closing, and I said, "You've got this model?" And they went, "Oh yeah, it's the trophy." They pulled it out, and it was completely gold, painted in gold paint. And they went, "Oh, you can have it for like 25 quid or something." It was ridiculously cheap because it was like hundreds of pounds. They said, "But you'll have to buy some paint stripper and do that." And the boobs were enormous. They were like ridiculous. You couldn't see. So I don't know what they did. Anyway, many hours of paint stripper repairing it. The legs were damaged. Some of the wing tips the feathers were damaged, and the boobs had to basically be very meticulously filed down, very carefully sanding down, so they got to a shape. And then I painted it to look like an osprey or a sea eagle, so it's all greys and things. But she never stood up properly. So a few years ago, when I started doing crafting things, I did Black Magic Crafts fountain, and I used that to make her a nest. And so that's the nest. There are many other things like crystals and plushies and teddy bears and other things, which we may come to another time. But for today, we're just concentrating on models. So that's the first one. While we're here, a very more recent one, this is a Christmas present. This is my waifu, my favourite anime character. This is 002 from Darling in the Franxx. There's a couple of her, and she's standing in her uniform. It's a cute little one. Behind her is a garden fairy. It is metal. She's meant to sit outside, but I found it or I was given it, I can't remember. Another recent add-on from Temu is this girl with a black cat. Name, I can't remember off the top of my head. Likewise, I like angels and fairies, as you'll gather, and this is one very cheap, another Temu add-on. There's a few recently because they're so cheap. Little anime characters. She's cute. This is a fairy statue made of pewter and metal, a present, and then we come onto the wall. So there are 4 or 5 sort of categories. You've got the bought, complete, painted and everything. Bought and then reworked or kit bashed. Bought in pieces and assembled and painted. And you have the made of junk and crap. So, junk and crap. The plants are not available anywhere for the Mistcraft book thing. Then we've got made out of something else. This was a statue I had for years, and she was always falling apart. And she was a little anime character on the beach with short hair, and I turned her into 002, a second copy. So this thing I kit bashed basically and gave her a single wing, which is part of the animation and the story, and it got to that. Not necessarily a statue, but it's a mask. I've had that forever. I don't even know where it came from. Then we have a little Nemesis Now fairy, which I've got a fair few of and I really like. They're pretty little fairies. This was the first one. The first one arrived and the wings were broke and the foot was broke, and so I had to repair her and do stuff to it. Because she was damaged and whatever, I painted her darker, so she's reds and blacks compared to the sort of greys and lilacs. In between, a new addition, a little sort of ghostly death-like creature. I've had that image, I drew that image many years ago in a scrapbook, and I've always had a thing about this little character, and he just sits on the ledge like that, waiting. Other things on here are cameras and ballet shoes and a candle, a ton of little characters. They're not necessarily models, they're little toys, masks, things like that. But we'll come to those in another video at some point because there's too many of them. Up there, for some reason I have owls. I don't collect owls, but somebody, Tora's mum, has got a thing about me having owls. So I've got 4. I don't collect them. I don't want them. They're okay. I've got 4 and then I've got that. But I don't have owls. So then we move to the new shelf. The new shelf up there, starting off with very recent addition, the Baba Yaga house remade. Next to that, another of the plants that cannot be found anywhere. That is a 2B from Nair Automator, and I redid the base, so she's standing on a bomb and some other bits and pieces, which I did. Still not great, still not one of my favourites, and the models are bought and put together and painted, and it was okay, but it was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. Another random fairy from Temu. I think at some point she may get repainted, because she seems to got like cycling gear, which is very odd. This was from this. I can't remember what she's called now, and it was not very good. So I reworked her as my preferred Catwoman. So in her slinky black outfit with her cat and nine tails standing on a rooftop. Another plant not available anywhere. Next to the recent Pokeball Monster Bash creation with the green slime and the weird sort of cards pulled, weird worm monster. This is my first attempt at making a medieval hut house thing when I got the new XPS phone. This is my squid gnome and is made out of straws and rubber wings, and he holds a wand for some reason, and all manner of bits and pieces, kit bashed, made out of junk. Then we move to this lot. The little her with all the eyeballs was the Monster Bash cards pulled for last year, and I got all eyes and green and blood and poison, that's what it says, poison, and all of that. That is Matilda. Matilda has been put back together because she fell off the shelf about 4 times a couple of weeks back, and now I got annoyed and threw her on the floor and broke her. So Tora has fixed her. So that's Tora's help there. That is the original Slug Wizard from the original version of the contest, whatever it is. And that is Emmonsfield, the Slug Wizard. Anyone guess where the name came from? What I was listening to or reading at the time? Next comes a single statue on its own. This is another Nemesis Now figure. I bought this one, goddess with a wolf. The other bits and pieces are just stones and things I've added to it. Next, another 02. As you see, I like 002. She's my favourite character. A fairy that somebody bought me many years ago. The wings are a bit precarious, they seem to wobble, but she does do that. I said 002 in her flight kit, her white flight outfit. And from, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, Next, this is a rocket I made out of junk just because I could. It's Garfield, because everyone seems to have a Garfield somewhere. There's a massive teddy bears in that, but there is a mention of them when I did putting the shelf together. This is a Nemesis Now steampunk fairy, bought for me by Tora a couple of Christmases back. She's very cool. I like steampunk. I love fairies. This is St. Louis from Azure Lane. Another Temu buy. It probably at some point will get reworked, because that figure is beyond ridiculous. It's just silly. And I think she's going to end up being kit bashed into something else. That's why she's there. Next up, we have another fairy from Nemesis Now with some additional flowers. And this is Clementine. She holds a pot, and in the pot is a giant marble. Look, I found a Batmobile the other day. There's another little fairy. She's sitting on a pile of fairy books. The keeper of the books. There's another little fairy book. Another random car I found. My K-pop albums, which you don't need to know about at the moment. We'll come to them when I have more. That is still one of my favourites. This is Scarlet, another Nemesis now, but she's always been like my absolute favourite. Hence, she's centre of fireplace. That is the Sabre model that I made because I liked this torture scene from A Fate Night. This is the controversial girl sitting in a tree, and she's meant to be blonde, and I painted her hair pink, and somebody got so incredibly irate that they said that I should kill myself. How dare I even think to do something so disgusting as paint her hair pink because she's blonde. And if anyone in Japan ever sees this, they will kill me. But I don't believe that somebody's going to get that irate. That's Yuki from a recent video I made and I did. I've added a volleyball net behind her. Next up, the girl with a dragon, another Nemesis Now. There's always crystals and stones and everything all around them. This was the fire elemental model that I painted using the neat and handy airbrush and got it all fiery and very cool. That Nemesis Now airbrush is broke subsequently. I bought this all the way back from Greece, from Rhodes. Have it bubble wrapped and covered and put in my carry-on, and there was a slight bit of damage. Something broke, one of the wings broke or something, but I've repaired it. So much so that I can't even see what broke. Painting by Tora. And then we have this statue of Reika. I ordered a different one. I ordered the fully dressed one. And they sent this one and then said they didn't have any more. This was the only one. I subsequently made her a diorama. She's standing on the destroyed Japanese Tokyo road with the subway underneath. And yeah. And then we have, I've always wanted one of these statues. And again, another random Temu statue, £5 or maybe. And she sits weirdly perched on the shelf. Another shelf, new addition because I run out of space and needed to build more. So we have Wonder Woman that I painted out of this was the movie version, and I painted her into more traditional Wonder Woman colours. Random little giant statue that I painted a few months back. Another Nair Automator 2B, a little bit small, somewhere in between would be good. That was the original Sabre that I made the torture scene thing from, and I thought that she was going to be way bigger, and it came off of Solaris in Japan, and it was that big, and I got ripped off. Next we got these random little statues, which were all painted recently with the very small ones to practice getting better. I have Medusa, got a gold dragon, and then we've got 3 versions of the original Baba Yaga. I have a Moses or something, and I'm calling a trickster, guy throwing a star. We have the Buddha statue. I kind of like them. And this is another new addition, and this you will see again soon, in a few weeks/months, when I take her apart and remake her into my character from my book. This will be Lorem, one of my characters, because I saw this model on E2046 and thought, oh my god, it's Lorem. This version came from Temu, and it was like 1/8 of the cost it was going to cost to buy it on E2046. So there are bargains and things on there. But the thing is, I've got to change this because her jeans have fallen apart. The guitar is like wobbly and cheap and crap. This was the storyteller, and I'd made a video of that, and I gave a whole story about him and everything. And he's standing in front of a signpost, which was just a random thing I found somewhere. And this is Lucy, and Lucy, like the Lorem statue, is one of those at some point we'll get round to redoing. She's covered in a necklace, but I've always wanted to redo her as Evangeline Somos from Red Queen. If you've read that book, you'll know. I wanted to change her into that and that, but that's a mission of a thing and something I'm going to have to work up to. And a massive crap that I'm going to get round to making a fairy door soon. Norway veg, and a flower and a plant and things that are not relevant to this video. Not a model, but I made it. King Alfred's Tower, dice tower in the corner. One last one, Monster Bash from a couple of years back. That was the prompts I pulled, and I had this rather purple people eater monster. There's a pile of books. Buddha, seated Buddha, and a pair of pumpkins. And finally, the island I made out of sculptor mould for the Discord challenge a few weeks back. It sits here. That is everyone. I'm sure I'm missing someone. You know, you look around, you think, you get so used to them being here. But yeah, there we go. I wonder how many that is in total. Let's count. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4 there. 5. Garfield, 6. Louis, 7 needs to be redone. 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, Scarlet 13, Sabre 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Buddha 31. Lucy 32. That's 33. 34, 35, 36, 37. Pumpkins can count. 7, 38, 39, 40. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61. 62, 63, 64, 65. I think that's everyone. Yeah, I forgot one. 66. Anyone else? 66. Forgot that one as well. So what's that? 67. Also, that's the Guardian of Forever. That is 68. So big it has to be stored outside. I don't know where she's going, but she'll go somewhere. She'll probably go over there on the little shelf, as it's kind of known. There are still things in the works. Lucy's to be redone. And there are plenty more other things to still go on and still be reworked, remade, and so forth. I've got far too many of them, but what do you do? It's like, which ones do you get rid of? Which ones do you keep? And which are your favourites? So, whether she becomes a favourite, I don't know. So far, it's not bad. I say that every time. Hope you like this. Hope this was entertaining, informative, and helpful. And maybe go look on Temu. Go look on E2046. See what you find. If you find something, if you know something, tell me. Leave comments down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already and you like seeing my models and me making stuff and reworking these and so forth, then hit subscribe and come back next time for another video. Until then, we're going to say goodbye. Bye bye. Covering a patch of mould. It's rather nice. Another problem with this flat. In the corner, 30. I've got to count. Lost count. I look like I'm growing a moustache. I'm not.